You can't swim,
Yeah.
but you go in the water.
You put boat capsizes on SOL.
Okay,
You
you
going
wanna
to
check it out?
Alaska?
Huh?
You're going to Alaska?
Fishing 3 days. Fishing.
Are you halibut fishing or what?
Hmm?
Halibut?
Salmon. I went there 2 years ago and caught about 6 different kinds of fish.
Did you like come home with
Take my
like,
son this time.
yeah, did you come home with like 200 pounds of meat too?
Oh, yeah, they ship it back home.
Yeah. Had a coworker that did that and he said, yeah, it was just an ungodly amount of fish that came home.
We went up on a cruise, I think we got north that as part of the cruise we're getting, we were at Hill Center, and they had talked to the procurement guy for the whole ship. He was a guy that was from someplace in Europe, was a warehouse guy and worked his way up, so he gets everything for ship, food, everything from food to mechanical. They said one of the things that we'll do, we do pick up things, and one of the things they picked up was halibut.
Yeah.
So he said, like, whatever day it was, just 2 days we'll have halibut on the menu, and he said,
That's the one.
and it was fresh halibut.
Just kidding.
Yeah, it was great, so.
Into our water system, we find it working, but regulations are on not the water. It is. And, you know, never happened. They specialize.
That could be something like taking off 30.
Getting there. Well, Larry, I'm good.
That clock says 7, is this one here? 3 more seconds. All right, we'll call the meeting to order. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God,
Indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, everybody mic'd up?
Yeah, mine's not working. Yeah.
Mine's not working. On? Okay, yep, it's on. Okay, are there any additions or corrections to the consent calendar?
So moved.
Second.
A motion and second, you want to call roll?
Commissioners Garbers,
Aye.
Higgers. Aye. Carlson. Aye. York.
Aye.
Mayor Lindstrom.
Aye. So are there any visitors to be heard tonight on any subject that is not on the agenda? You may come forward.
All right.
Bruce.
Hi, Bruce Hankey with the Canton Airport Board. I thought there was something gonna be else on here, but I guess it's next week, so I'll be there, but I'll take the opportunity to just give you a little update. Not a whole lot to tell, just a couple of highlights that, I don't remember if I told you last time, Dakota Aviation, Joey out there, they've added a third aircraft now for flight instruction. Also, there was a gentleman who owns a 172 that came in, and he's learning to fly with his own plane out there, so they've been doing really, really well. See, still 29 aircraft on the field, although, you know, part of this whole process is that there's possibility of a couple more hangars being built right now, so part of this is ongoing airport layout plan. We'll be going towards that and where those will be and locations of that. One of the things we had in the field was we have it's called an AWOS. It's AWOS, aircraft weather observation. We've had some issues with that. It's been since December we've had it. Finally, they figured out that it's going to take it's got a bad CPU, central processor on it. That little bugger's going to cost us $1,800 to replace it. The little good news is that we got a letter that we have $693, well, this was as of the beginning of June, in our fuel tax from Pier, and we can use it for that, so that'll offset that a little bit. What that is someone can either go online or when they're coming to the field, they can click on and they will get an automated report of what the weather is, the visibility, the winds, the barometric pressure on it, so you can set your altimeter to that. So it's an important thing when Marshall's been going back and forth with the state and the people that own the system that we bought it from, trying to get it fixed, and they finally figured out that's what it is. And I don't know where it's in that process now. That was just our last meeting, the way it is. Had 1,300 gallons of fuel delivered. Good news is fuel went down just slightly, not a lot, but about 20 or 30 cents. I think we're selling it for $4.65 a gallon right now. We're trying to keep it competitive with the other airports around the area. We submitted our budget. Probably about the only little anomaly that we had, Bob Moulton-Ely was not able to make the meeting, so he called in by phone, and we've done that occasionally where we just put him on speakerphone and we have that. He had called somebody else and said he couldn't get in because our airport phone was going to a plumber in Wyoming. So as we're sitting there, I called, from my cell phone out of that. Sure enough, it didn't ring. I get a plumber, and that. And so we apologized. And so we said, where are you at? And they gave us the telephone number and that. So I then got on the phone and got a hold of Blue Peak. And I said, I'm not officially with the city folks, but I said, I'm at the Canton Airport Board, secretary of the Canton Airport Board. Here's what's happening. And the gal got me over to some business thing that they're operating 24 hours a day, so we told them what happened, and they were a little surprised too. They don't know whether things got hacked, but they did get it corrected. As we're sitting there, they said, okay, you should have it. Probably took, 20 minutes or half an hour by the time we got to the right thing, but they got it corrected, and they have no idea why that happened. At first I thought, well, maybe Marshall was out of town or something and forwarded it to him, because he wasn't at the meeting, but somehow, we don't know whether something got hacked or something did something accidentally. Anyway, it was corrected, and so the airport phone is now going to the airport, not just because they said they were getting several calls. You could tell they were probably by this point a little irritated, but once we told them who I was and what we were doing, they were fine. So then I did actually call them back and say, hey, I just let you know we got it corrected. This is me calling on myself, so they appreciated that. Other than that, I guess I don't have any other big things to say. Any questions I've got for any of the?
There was just the paperwork that was supposed to be on tonight's agenda. There were some numbers that weren't matching from the original grant proposal. So Aaron Storm was trying to run that down.
Okay, all right, sounds good. Yeah, no, I'll plan on being here then next week. So,
Thank
all
you.
right, sure.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, there is no old business because there's no update on the turf quote for the pool. So we'll move on to new business. We have a water model and rate study proposal. Justin, are you going to?
Absolutely. Good evening, Commission. As Mayor noted, there is a proposal for a citywide water study and rate study analysis. So the proposal is kind of broken up into two different aspects to try to provide some clarity for you guys. And so just going to hit on the water study first of all. Think of that as very much infrastructure driven. So that's going to take a look at the existing system, put all that data into a model, do some field testing to validate that model, and provide recommendations based on what we're seeing in there. So throughout the whole city, entire system is going to be analyzed. We're going to take that and we're going to look at future conditions too. So what happens when we start adding some larger mains that go out to the outskirts of the city, just to make sure that we can serve it. It's going to provide recommendations on water storage, some of the water use, et cetera, and things of those nature. So high level, it'll be a design tool for our improvement projects. So it's pretty much going to map out the improvement that we may see in the next few years, future here. help with validate our infrastructure sizing and need. So that's another key element too. If there is undersized infrastructure within the city, it's gonna be able to identify that and help provide some recommendations there. It's also gonna develop our master plan within our CIP. So like I talked about the future, we're gonna look at the next 10, 20, and 30-year growth model, align that with our future land use plan as well. That way, when areas outside of the city start to develop, we're already set and can provide good information on the water main sizes that need to be there. Like noted, also identifying some future water storage locations if needed as the city continues to grow. But another big thing that I think is good to note is just the operation regulatory tool as well. So speaking with Bill on a lot of the stuff, whether it's hydrant flushing, some of that maintenance stuff, this will help inform some of those routines that they tend to do. So a lot of it sounds like that has just been passed down from superintendent to superintendent. So being able to provide some of that data to make sure when we go through and use all that water through the city for the flushing, that we are actually getting everything flushed throughout. So that's a five-step process that really starts with some of that project management, kickoff, get that existing data into the system, run that model, do the field testing, provide that proposed model, and then the capital improvements that go along with it. So I'll stop there and address any questions on the water model aspects. And if there's none, I'll keep going. So the next part is the rate study. So understanding if we start looking at some of these capital improvements, for the future, or even if we don't look at those and just look at that existing system, understanding where we're getting our water, our treatment, our operation and maintenance, making sure that we're generating some funds in that, within that fund to make sure that we can continue to keep going. So that's going to be diving into the billings, operations, maintenance, future capital improvements, and at the end of the day, it's going to be a living, breathing document, an Excel spreadsheet essentially that we can update, modify, play with to understand where our rates need to be as the city continues from here on out, right? So if we understand the project's coming up, we can add that in there and see if we need to make any rate adjustments. Think of this as a long-term planning tool to not just rely on SRF surcharges as needed. So one of those things, if we can plan for, our rates in the future, not always saying they're going to go up too, right? We can understand how to throttle that. With everything going up, we may understand, provide some recommendations too. Maybe it's a percentage increase every month if the data shows that. But long story short, it's trying to flatten that curve a little bit instead of potential surcharges that are added onto it, and just have a good review of the system to understand what the current rates are and what the system demands for that.
What do you look at when you determine what the rate should be?
So
Other towns, what are you looking for?
it's specific to Canton, right? We can take that and we can provide that data because that's a good metric to look at to see what other towns are charging, and you try to, leverage yourself against that to some regard. But I think the biggest data that's going to come from this is to show you guys, as the city of Canton, what do you have, operation, maintenance, future projects, and make sure those rates align with it, right? A lot of times I want to make sure that you guys are thinking specifically for the city and the system that you guys have. Your guys' system is unique to every other town, right? You guys have little different constraints on operation, maintenance, just the function of everything, pulling out of your wells, treating some of your water. So I want to make sure that this study is geared towards you guys.
The subcontractor that they have on doing the rate study, AE2S, I use them up north, and there's a lot of towns that bring them in as an outside consultant to have fresh specialized eyes looking at the rates. And then every year they do put out a publication, 2 of them, one on water rates and one on sewer rates, that lists all the towns that they can get information from in South Dakota, North Dakota, and a few other states. And it's something that a lot of towns use to look at to say where are we at compared to our neighbors.
I don't think I saw on here what a timeline is.
Timeline for the water, The water model is approximately about 4 months to get completed, so I'm thinking approximately December timeframe. We would want to try to get some of that field testing done before it gets too cold. Shouldn't be talking like that, but it is August unfortunately, so I would anticipate some of that kickoff taking place if approval would be tonight in August, field testing probably in September, and then working through October, November, getting the final model put together, final report, and adoption of a report in December. The rate study, I don't have as detailed of a schedule on that, but I would anticipate 4 to 6 months for completion on that.
Some of the rate study stuff can't really be completed until the model
So I'm thinking
identifies.
like next summer. Timeframe,
Uh,
4 to 6 months
no,
after December, or?
I would anticipate probably about February timeframe for the rate study, because as Andrew noted, there will be some stuff that we'll use to inform based on the water model. But there's also a few there's a lot of existing data to go through, and a lot of that can be done all the way up to the point that we really have to start plugging in projects to really refine what that
Okay.
rate study recommendations come out, so.
In this whole study, water, whatever, are we looking at a well goes down? Is it- Which is our best for our buck? I mean, do we increase South Lincoln Rural Water's water, do we,
So that's.
because right now, if it
yeah.
went down, I don't know who would know which way is the best way to go.
Yep, that's going to be, a little bit of both, but I'd say probably a little bit more heavy on the citywide water model, because that's where we're going to analyze your source of water, understanding you guys do different capacities within those wells. To your point, if we understand one goes down and that's our highest producing well, do we have to start to supplement from potential South Lincoln Rural Water? So we'll look at that and we'll provide some of those recommendations based on the report or just analysis, what we're seeing essentially.
It'll give us a better grasp of what our genuine operation and management costs are for our own system.
That's where I was getting.
Yep.
I speak non-engineer.
Hmm?
I speak non-engineer.
That's what I appreciate.
Any other questions?
I have discussion on not the first few pages, but the link at the end. I don't know if anybody else looked at the link at the end. I have concerns there.
On page 9.
Mm-hmm.
And as noted in there, I assume you're alluding to the general terms and conditions.
Yep.
Yep, so that can be reviewed by city attorney, and go into standard EJCDC standard contract as well.
Yeah, I have issues as it relates to, the city attorney would need to probably make some edits to some of the conditions
Yep.
Related to waivers and liabilities
Yeah.
and compensation, standard of care. There's a lot of things in here that kind of leave us hanging, and I don't think our insurance coverage
Yeah.
would allow us to sign this contract with these general
Yep.
terms and conditions.
And so I'd say this would be a proposal contingent on, a great contract on that, and we'd definitely be able to work with you guys to satisfy any needs on that. We do a lot with other municipalities, so if it's taking, like I said, that standard EJCDC document too, and working with city attorney to get to agreement on that, we definitely can do that.
So those are my concerns. So I would not approve signing it today, but I would with Larry's approval.
Yeah.
She made,
So is that the motion?
I
Yes,
can make
that's
a
the
motion that city attorney, with the city attorney's approval, we can move forward.
Second.
was there input? If not, on call roll.
Commissioners Piggers. Aye. Carlson. Aye. York.
Aye.
Garbers.
Aye.
Mayor Lindstrom.
Aye. So, Okay,
Thank you, guys.
thanks, Justin.
Thank you.
And next on the agenda is the closeout documents for the Beaver Creek Emergency Repair Project. H&W Contracting fully completed the Beaver Creek Emergency Repair Project this summer, and Myron Adam with JSA sent certification that the project is complete and has sent contract completion to the city's acceptance of construction, as well as pay app number 2 for final payment due to H&W Contracting in an amount of $118,331.91. And overall, the original construction contract price was bid at $724,237.50. And final as constructed total was about $665,774.15 with no change orders. So a motion is needed to accept this.
This would have been in front of you a lot earlier this spring, but the last hanging item was to put Revis's fence back up. It was the fence contractor, they couldn't get one lined up, so that was the last item that made this take so long to get in front of you guys.
Have we gotten reimbursed from FEMA on this, or going to?
I believe we got all of our FEMA reimbursement for it, but I can double check and get back to you tomorrow on that.
Motion.
Do we have a motion to a second?
Second.
Okay, if there's nothing else, shall we call roll?
Commissioners Carlson,
Aye.
York.
Aye.
Garbers,
Aye.
Biggers, aye, Mayor Lundstrom.
Aye. Okay, moving forward, we have received the report from ELO CPAs and advisors, and they're formerly Qualm, Bergen, and Post PCs, their audit report for 2024. And have you all looked at that? And I don't know if there's anything that can be added to that. You?
Almost every audit report you'll see in a town that's under 20,000 people has the same note about separation of duties is one
Yep.
thing that they called out, and like I said, they'll call it out for almost every town that doesn't have 5 times as much staff as us.
Every year.
Other than that, it was a good audit.
Okay, we need a motion to accept that.
Motion to approve.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Thank you. Is there any questions? If not, you want to call roll?
Commissioners York.
Aye.
Garbers,
Aye.
Biggers, aye, Carlson, aye, Mayor Lundstrom.
Aye. Next on the agenda is the municipal advisory agreement. Colliers Securities has submitted a municipal advisor agreement for the TIF number 1 to the city, and there was an attachment attached to this. Do you have anything to say about this?
Just that normally this would be kind of thing you'd like to enter into before you already do the work together. In the last couple of years, Toby's company, as it got bought out by Colliers, he used to just get paid out of the TIF on his own. But the company that bought him out had required him to have a separate standalone agreement. And us having worked together for so long, we both just forgot that there wasn't a pre-existing agreement with the city of Canton. So he performed most of the work before getting the agreement. If we did, not that it would even possibly happen, but if we did additional TIFs in this year, they would all be covered by this one agreement.
Okay. Any questions?
So by doing this after the fact, are we doing something like illegal essentially, or?
Nah, he just performed the work for free as it is.
Motion to approve.
A motion to approve, do we have a second? You have questions?
I didn't get a chance to look at this earlier, and, there's a link that won't open, so I wanna see the link before I say anything.
I have it up for you, okay?
Well, I have it up, it won't click. It tells me it's unable to be opened. So I was gonna go on my phone and see if I can get it. Are you able to click the link on yours?
I don't know what link you're talking about.
The blue HTTP www.2.colors. Is it at the bottom?
After legal disciplinary matters in item 3.
Yeah. There we go.
Mine says can't be opened.
I got it on my phone. I'll second.
Okay, we have a second. Is there any other questions? Not, you want to call roll?
Commissioners Garbers,
Aye.
Tiggers. Aye. Carlson. Aye. York.
Aye.
Mayor Lundstrom.
Aye. Next on the agenda is the picnic table and bleachers. Currently, we charge $30 per item for other people to use our property. And discussion on removing the $30 fee for nonprofits is open tonight. And the city's involvement in transportation of the tables and or bleachers. So, is there any ideas on this, any thoughts?
Yes, I am. I'm the one that asked to get it on there, and I want to discuss it because, yes, I would, if it's nonprofit or school, whatever, I don't want to charge, but then how do we get them to come and get them? I don't have all them answers.
Yeah.
I looked through a year's worth of usage. The bleachers, the only people who use them outside of our parks is the nativity.
The what?
Nativity.
Oh, yeah, at the church, okay.
Yeah, it's the only time that anybody seems to rent the bleachers.
Did they use them for the Civil War thing?
Oh, I only looked through last year.
2 years ago.
Yeah, 2 years ago, yeah, it wasn't much.
Okay.
That'd be
But
twice.
they might have, I think.
But I don't think we charged for those.
I would imagine not. Or if we did, they came before us and we.
Yeah.
We were like,
And I would throw Civil War Days out as like another city
Fun.
festival, even though it's not in a city park, you know. The picnic table rentals, the biggest renters, once a year renters, hospital,
Mhm.
bank, and homecoming. Where it looks like we relocate nearly every single one of our picnic tables, which takes nearly a day.
Yeah.
To relocate all of our picnic tables. In that case, the fee's barely covering the time for nearly all of the public works staff to be involved in that. The rest of the rentals, for the most part, are in our own parks. You know, the whatever we have in a park, they just want to add a couple more to it or something like that. One thought that I wanted to add to Paul's is that we entertain getting out of the rental business altogether and taking all of the picnic tables and having them all in the parks all the time. And so then we just, if somebody wants to have an event and utilize our picnic tables, just do it in the park, and we'll shift them and move them around within our park system for you. But we aren't gonna locate them outside of the park system. You know, with the school, we could still tell them that with another government entity, by all means, come and get them and use them. We'd still probably have, and we could maybe talk to the school about giving them 5 of the existing extra that we have to keep all the time up by the football stadium.
Is they, in the tailgate for football, do they come and get tables, or do we bring them there,
We
or what
take
have we
them.
done?
Yeah, we do, and that's usually by the pack, isn't it, on the west side of the pack? I'm not sure.
North side of the track.
Oh, it's on the north side of the track, okay.
Do we charge the school for that then, or no?
I didn't notice, I guess. Tiffany, does that sound right, that we don't charge for that?
I can't remember off the top of my head.
I don't think we do.
Any idea how many tables are for that event?
All of them,
Meeting, I don't know, maybe we have 20?
Maybe close to 20,
you
yeah.
know?
It's sitting down at the, who
So
wants it?
Yeah, at the guard building.
So they would have to come and get all of them from the parks to use them if we put them in
Yeah, I
the
think
park.
we should distribute them to all the parks.
I
Yeah.
personally, I mean, we're not making any money off of them, and I can't imagine people really, I mean, I get they could be stolen, but would take a lot of work to do
Pretty
it.
darn heavy.
Oh,
So I would be for just putting them in the parks and not charging anyone for them.
We might lose a parks director if he just move all them dang tables.
well, I was concerned about mowing too. Right now, mowing might not be a problem if there's 4 tables in the park. All of a sudden, there's 7 or 8 tables, now you just doubled in one table per park.
And
Yeah.
I mean, then we're gonna have all of our tables out in the weather.
They are stored outside.
Oh, they are stored outside.
Yeah, there's stainless steel in there,
That's not marked up either, so if somebody wanted to steal them, they can go down there and steal them.
you know.
Thanks for telling our secrets.
Could we possibly, somebody mentioned taking some tables to the school already, 5 or so tables already. Next to the maintenance shop, there might be a spot, not telling them where to put things, but we could stage some over in the corner and lock them to each other or something. Where they use them in the fall and leave them there through the winter. Rather than once a year, take them up there, just leave them over inside. Cause I can only imagine it's gonna be about 10 people or 8 people that are gonna end up having to do this. I can potentially see who those people are. Right?
I mean, the school, if you take 5 up there and during homecoming, I mean, they use a lot of tables, so they would still probably want to come and request more.
Are we bringing them to the school? Don't know. Are they coming to get them?
We brought them to the school. They
I
probably
mean, it's kind of like cleaning up trees. I mean, it looked great. I think they did a wonderful job. Yeah, is it our people that did it? Yes, but they're employed by a public organization. You take the school and the bank and the hospital that uses these tables. I don't think it's that big a deal that we bring them to them. The hospital's doing good. The bank is giving that check to whoever they give it to on that Friday night. They're not making money. They're not making money either, so I don't know if it's a big deal to get them there. I'm open for discussion, but I'm not a big fan of distributing them all in the parks either. Just simply the mowing part. I mean, I have to do that out in my campground. You have to get off the mower and move.
Maybe about the mowing part.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's on cement platforms.
I mean, I'm of the same, I don't see what the reasoning is move them from one place to another just to constantly move them. Like, then we have one employee just having to constantly move them, to, take care of the parks. And if we take 5 up to the school, then they can use those for during regular games and, you know, it's what, 3 times a year that we say that somebody rents them? Like, I don't feel like that's.
All of them.
Right,
There's a half dozen more one-offs.
They're sitting on a trailer in, by the guard building, right?
A handful of them are on the trailer ready to go.
So we pull the whole trailer up there when you need them. It's not that big a deal.
I'm always for less fees, but, you know, if the $30 fee helps cover our costs for the gas and the hauling and the whatnot, then, I don't know, 30. And I'm with the Scouts, we rent things from the city, and I don't think any of us at our board meetings have given heartburn over it, so. I don't know.
There's, I don't know how many, again, take the school out of it, how many does the hospital use? If there's 20 tables times 30, $600, but it's still $600, and they're trying to,
Raise money.
Raise money.
and now we're charging them the same way at the bank. Yeah, if they need 20, it's $600, but it's still $600. I don't want to
So-
go down anybody's throat, but I guess I would like to see nonprofit.
Nonprofit, and if it's a for-profit doing a fundraiser. Like the bank is a for-profit, but since they're doing a fundraiser, would you?
Yeah, I'd like for them to use them for nothing.
Because it's a fundraiser, so.
Do you want it 0 or do you want it 50% off or?
I'd say 0. I'm not, I mean, if Paul Garbers wants to rent them, $30 is fine.
Could bring us all nonprofits and fundraisers. I'll take care of it.
I'll make that motion,
I'll make that motion. Okay,
if we're done discussing. If we're done discussing.
hey, do you have any more questions or any more statements?
Nonprofit fundraiser.
And fundraising.
And I'll second if no one,
Pardon?
I'll second if no one else
Okay.
has questions.
Anything else, guys? No call.
Commissioners Biggers, aye. Carlson. Nay. York. Garbers.
Aye.
Mayor Lundstrom.
Aye. Okay, Commissioner dialogue now. Because that's the last thing on our agenda. Do you have anything,
Executive
Chris?
session.
Pardon?
We do have an executive session.
Yeah, but we do Commissioner dialogue first.
Oh.
You want anything, Chris?
Shout out to everyone who cleaned up this week. I was not in town. I didn't see any of it. I'm gonna go ahead and say that right now. But I seen the pile, there's a lot of trees in the ground. So I'd like to make a motion to, buy that land from CHS immediately.
When it's on the agenda, you can make that motion.
I
Just a
did,
joke.
I did ask them if it was for sale and they did say no. But that, our use of it, they will be very generous with.
It's not money.
It's a great piece of land. It is
I would
an
like to go to them and see if we could
lease
rent
it.
it on a yearly basis.
Yeah.
For the tree pile.
So we take the snow down there.
It's obvious we
Yeah.
have an
Snow
abundance.
storage.
We don't need that OD parking lot for snow.
It's obvious we have an abundance of overgrown trees in this town.
Yep.
Because every single time the wind blows, that's what we have. FYI,
Every single time.
every single time.
I don't think we have to make a motion either, but when do we want to close that?
We were talking about it today, and basically whenever we can get around to moving it down to Chautauqua. we'll close
Randy
it.
from THA called me today and was asking about that pile. It's closer to haul it to Chautauqua. It's not big enough for them to pull
Set up
the
shop.
grinder up and unload
Right.
it again. So do we want to haul it to Chautauqua or do we want to haul it out to, because they're going to the rubble site after Chautauqua.
We figured we would just haul it down to Chautauqua for them.
So that's probably have to be this week. then I would say we should shut it. Are we closed at the dump tomorrow?
Tuesday, yeah.
So I'd say we close it Wednesday morning.
Okay.
The sale one.
Sounds good. We'll announce it on social media and the website and just block it off with cones but we'll probably be in there moving it, so.
Okay. Anything else, Chris?
A few of us are working on raising manhole covers, so folks that are calling on manhole covers twice a week, I'm working on it.
Do you have anything?
I also was not in town for the storm. My understanding was we had a few branches down, not a lot, surprisingly, for a 200-year-old tree. And somebody else took care of them for us, so I appreciate that, whoever that was. But everything looks great. I mean, considering we came back a couple of days after the storm, the town looked great, so.
Jackie? No. Well, I have nothing, just thank you to everyone that volunteers their services to the city when we have events like this. Can't fight Mother Nature.
The football team was one of.
Yes, the football team they did in the morning and in the evening of that day, so, yeah.
If you look at that pile, that's a big pile, and I believe the branches that the city crew picked up, they went to the local site.
Oh.
So that's not even counting what the city guys did.
Okay, so, we're going to have an executive session tonight. We're gonna do, executive session, South Dakota Codified Law 1-25-2, and executive session Codified Law, South Dakota Codified Law 9-34-19. So,
Motion.
motion and a second to go into exec. Call roll?
Commissioners Carlson. Aye. York.
Aye.
Rivers.
Aye.
Biggers. Aye. Mayor Lundstrom.
Aye.